sacred ground. You are heard right now. Your voice matters. This is sacred ground. You are heard right here, right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to You Are Heard podcast. We have an amazing episode, and I'm like super excited because I am here with my main man. They call him the Z-Man. They call him Zarron. They also call him the Worm Whisperer. And I'm just so excited because he's doing so much for the community in such a beautiful, unique way, and it's something that we take for granted. So I want to show you how he's healing the world. So Zarron, say hi to the You Are Heard community.
Which camera?
That camera right there.
How you doing? What's going on? How's everybody?
Everybody's
glad to be
good.
Here. Good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you're glad to be here. So Zarron,
Yes.
people know you as the Worm Whisperer. And I know when people hear that name, they're like, Worm Whisperer, what is that?
Yeah.
But you're the compost guy.
Yeah, I do some composting.
You do some composting.
Yes, I do, yeah, just a little bit.
And what is composting?
Composting is converting organic material or allowing organic material to be converted back to soil or soil amendment.
Okay.
Yeah, let me be correct on that, a soil amendment.
Okay, soil amendment.
Yes.
And to simplify it to me, because you sometimes you usually like to tell people, I just play with dirt.
I do, yeah. I do play with dirt. I'm just playing in dirt.
But it's more than just playing with dirt, in my opinion.
I'm playing in the dirt, and I'm playing with other bugs and insects.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But and pretty much they're playing with different ratios because, the gist of it is of how I do my composting is just mixing organic material. You got your source of carbon, which is mulch, and then you have your source of nitrogen, which is food scraps.
Right.
So by mixing the two together, a particular ratio, it creates temperatures up to like 150 degrees.
Ooh.
So naturally, so it's not an external source.
But 150 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, it'll burn you.
It'll burn you.
It can.
And you said mulch and then
food scraps.
Food scraps.
Yeah, like fruits and vegetables. And where I get my food scraps from is Juice to Find. Y'all probably know it. Yeah, so that's where I get my scraps from.
Right.
And this. Wait, let me not say too much. There might be some Toastmaster counters out there.
No, don't. No, but as far as like you mentioned about getting scraps, because sometimes when people think of scraps, it's like, okay, that's just trash. I'm just throwing out trash. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have value. I don't need it. But in your case, you're actually throwing, like the trash that people are throwing away, you're converting it and bringing life back into it.
Yeah, and I mentioned I do fruits and vegetables. I mean, there are other sources of food scraps that you can do in this particular type of composting method or system.
Right.
Because it generates the heat, and that heat, which is created by the microorganisms as they're consuming and the exchange of energy and electrons and so forth that's going on, on the biological level. And then that's what generates the heat. But given those temperatures that you get, that allows you to compost a lot more different things instead of just focusing on, just the fruits and vegetables.
But what's the benefits of composting? Because, people will hear this term, composting, it's healthy for the environment. People just want to live, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, I got to add something else to my everyday regimen. And like, what is the purpose of composting?
Well, like I said, a soil amendment. It's by that organic material decomposing and breaking down, there are nutrients that are becoming available to plants for plants to uptake and utilize
right.
for the structure of the plant, for the the fruit or vegetable or the flower of the plant, the aromas of the plant. A lot of benefits that compost provides for the plant, for the plant to thrive and be healthy as well. So it's like a symbiotic relationship between the plant and soil. So composting is a way to help feed the soil.
Okay. So when people compost, so when people have their scraps and they run into someone like you that composts, that can take the scrap and compost, or they can compost themselves, the soil, it's like what you're creating is not just, soil. This is food for the plant.
Well, ultimately for us too, because if the plant is healthy and we consume it, we're going to be healthy too.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the plant is healthy, the plant is healthy based on the soil that we give the plant. And since we're eating the food from the plants, okay, for me, I love me some avocados.
Okay.
I love me some tomatoes. I love me some, oh my goodness, pumpkin for those that are Haitian that eat soups jumeau.
Which pumpkin?
Ooh.
Because you got the Seminole pumpkin, which are kind of like flat. Then you got your typical Halloween pumpkin.
Okay, then it would most likely be like the Seminole pumpkin, because that's what we're using for like the soup jumeau.
Yeah.
And that soup jumeau be tasting good.
And those pumpkins grow here really good.
You're right.
Really, really good. Yeah, I've grown quite a few of them.
So the trick, you would say, is the soil.
I want to say the trick. Of course, there are other variables that contribute to the health of a plant. You know, like you had on one of your other podcast episodes. I think it was with Dr.
Crystal?
Yes, and
Okay.
she mentioned about the time that she and her family decided to speak, I guess, positive affirmations into this.
It was to the plant.
Yeah, to the plant.
Yes.
So the same thing with water, with your plants. The energy that you're giving to it. That this is what I'm saying. Something else that contributes to the health of a plant. So I try to give that energy to my compost. So whenever I give it to someone, they're getting some positive energy. But composting is just. Compost is one component,
right?
To a healthy plant. Yeah, you got to speak life into the plant, and into yourself. But yeah, composting does help though.
That seems like a common theme in our journey: the importance of speaking life, not only into ourselves. Because I remember that episode with Dr. Crystal. So it's because she mentioned about the importance of speaking life onto self. So you're also saying, I speak life when I give people the soil that I make. I speak life into my soil before I give it to you.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So energy is everything, and I love that. So you're literally like healing the planet by composting, and whoever receives it, they get that other benefit, that other layer of it, with you speaking life into it. Yeah. Like, what made you get into composting?
Well, I've initially got into composting. I'll make a long story short. I was attending FIU, and I heard on WLRN.
Now, FIU is where, for those that don't know?
Sorry.
It's a PWI, y'all.
Yeah, Florida International University down here. And I was in there, one of their programs, and I heard over the public radio station that someone was just starting out. The name of the company then was Fertile Earth Foundation, and they were looking for someone to help them out with their business plan. And I was taking a class. I was like, okay, let me go help them out. So I helped them out with that, and they eventually showed me what they were doing, which was vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is the use of worms only. So, but you have, I think there are limitations to vermicomposting, which is you're limited on as to what you can put in there or what they'll digest.
Right.
And from there, I branched out and, started learning some other methods. And this one is one that I've been doing for some time, And
you fell into it and just fell in love with it.
Yeah, and it still to today, it amazes me to see some food scraps, Like I've even done flesh or meat, beef, chicken, turkey, spoil, whatever, and put it through that process, and then at the end you just have the bone. You know, it's hollow, it's brown, but you know, it's an amazing process. What nature does.
Right.
It's what nature does naturally.
It's a cycle. It's a process. It's like, okay, we're nothing but flesh and bones. And when we're gone, it's like we literally go back to the soil. Ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. What he is describing is what people have heard from the beginning of the time.
And also, too, I'd like to add about speaking positively into your soil. With the compost, what you're doing is allowing the plant that's going to communicate with you to actually communicate in many ways that we may not necessarily be able to detect or understand through verbal language. You know, it's just understanding the language, like I like to say, a language older than words. So, you know, it's definitely messages and information and communication that's going on, you know, between us and the environment, which I think we need to strengthen and, you know, get back to.
I agree, because the other day, because you do a lot of things for the community, and one of the things that you do, especially when there's like community gardens, I always see you at a community garden, whether it's in Miami Gardens, whether it's in Overtown, man, it could be all the way in Homestead. You'll be there.
Homestead, hold on now.
No, but
that's not right.
You like, hold on.
It depends. You know,
You hyping me up, but don't hype me up that much.
That's a planned trip down to Homestead. But I have been down there though.
You've been down there.
Yeah, I have been down there.
But you've always been the type of person when it has, from what I've witnessed, from the time that I know you, if it has anything to do with the environment, gardening, or educating the community on doing, learning about composting or gardening, you're always usually there. And I think it's so important, especially as a Black man, because to me, I feel like you find your healing in the garden by doing that. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I do find some healing in that, a lot of healing in it, you know, just when I get into that zone or get into that space, you know, the greenery, you know, the vegetation, you know, from time to time, I even walk barefoot.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot of healing in it, and I think we all need to get back to that.
Right.
You know, whether it be composting on a large scale or even a small scale, you know, or just getting outside, getting your feet on the ground, you know, getting your hands in the ground, or in the soil or in the dirt, you know, in the plants, on your plants as well. So.
Right. And it's true, because the other day it was that gardening activity that we did at the Overtown garden, and my mom was there with me. You got to meet my mom, and she said just being in the garden, because she had some swelling in her feet.
Okay.
And like when we got back home, she was like, "Oh my goodness, it like went down." And it's like the environment is really our medicine. And how we treat it reflects on us. Like we feel the effects of it when we don't treat it good, whether that's through our skin, whether that's through the food that we eat. It's just the food that we eat in the garden tastes so much more different compared to the foods that we purchase in the store.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it just... what we got to get back to.
Yes.
You know?
Now, what's your favorite plant to plant?
Favorite plant to plant? There's so many of them. I can tell you what's one of my favorite things to eat.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Mangoes.
Okay.
Yeah, we in mango capital here. Yeah.
Yes.
But the plant, I mean, I don't necessarily have a favorite thing to plant, because so many things that you can plant. You know, here in South Florida, you know, that you can. But I just like to experiment around with different things, just to see if I can get it to grow. And I have not had success on everything that I've planted, you know, just to let people
But
know.
you've had success with the pineapples, because you always talk about the pineapples. You like, I could grow me some pineapples.
Yeah. I should have brought a plant with me, but Yeah, I can check it out on my Instagram page whenever we share.
Okay, well, no, what's your Instagram page? You can share that.
The Worm Whisperer.
The Worm Whisperer.
Yeah.
You can't forget the Worm Whisperer. I like that name. It's very. How did you even get that name?
Well, it was someone I was dating at the time. This was probably like back in, about 10 years ago. The name. She was a teacher, and I had to give a presentation at a teachers conference.
Right.
And I'm like, I need a name, something, other than Zarron. Nothing wrong with my name. I love my name, but something to kind of go along with, what I guess I'll be doing. So she was like the Worm Whisperer, and I'm like, okay, and it stuck, and it stuck, and I've been doing it ever since.
And you have a website too, the Worm Whisperer.
Yeah, thewormwhisperer.guru. Don't forget the ER on the end. So it's thewormwhisperer.guru. So,
Yes. And now I know you compost for yourself and the community, but you also work with kids.
Yes, that I do. Yeah, I work at a school called La Scuola, and it's a private school. It's K through 8. So, and it's a nature-based school, which is really cool about about the environment there. And I'm just teaching environmental literacy, composting, and also learning from them. I learn a lot from them. It's not that I'm going and I have to teach all of this information. I'm definitely learning a lot.
You're learning a lot from the kids too.
Oh, definitely.
And it's funny that you mention that, because a lot of times when we look at the younger kids that are coming in, sometimes we get so consumed with, okay, we got to guide them, we got to steer them in the right way. But the reality of it is that they're here too to teach us stuff. And when we harden ourselves from actually learning, just because they're their most authentic selves, right? And the goal is for us to be authentically ourselves. Like you, Mr. Z-Man, the Worm Whisperer, you're authentically yourself because you're composting, you find enjoyment in it. Somebody may be watching this episode and they're like, I like to play in the dirt too.
Do it. Go outside right now. I hope you're outside.
Go outside.
Stay in the barefoot too.
Because the planet needs it too. Like, especially with food. Like right now, because we're recording this episode, like, okay, it's October of 2025. And we hear the scares of people having to deal with the fact that their food stamp benefits might get cut off. Have you heard of that? Like it something about people's food stamps getting cut off and everything. And people are kind of like in an uproar. And it's like, oh man, like what are we going to do if it does get cut off? But then a part of me is like, the more that I learn about composting, the more that I learn about planting, the more that I'm not scared. I'm just like, I could grow my own food in the backyard. And it's important because somebody could be watching this and they're like, okay, I want to know how to compost. But yeah, I can help you make some amazing soil that can feed the plants that you in return can put into your body.
And one simple way of composting, for those at home or may not have yard space, is say get a big pot and your scraps, bury it, and over time it'll break down and you'll get all the bugs and insects and microorganisms that's going to enrich and liven the soil, and then you put that on your plants.
I love that.
Put your feet in it too.
Put your feet in it too. Yeah. Okay. When they say when tastes so good, no, not want to slap yo. Let me rephrase. It tastes so good. I think she put her pinky toe in it or something like that. I don't know. I don't know where I be getting these quotes, but literally that's what you're doing when you composting, walking on dirt, grounding yourself. Yeah. Now,
very important.
Clearly, you are a black man. There is no denying it. I ain't gonna lie. What I'm looking at right now is a black man. That's what you is. Right? So clearly you're a black man and you found your healing through composting. Do you have other healing methods that you use? Because you mentioned that you talk to the plants, because I want for someone to be watching this, and if they're looking for different ways in terms of what can I add to my regimen of healing, and you mentioned walking barefoot. Like as a black man, Because to me, I feel like I love to hear that, like walking barefoot, being in nature. What do you recommend?
What do I recommend? Stretching, meditating, evaluating your thoughts, eating with intention, not necessarily praying over your food for those folks who are religious and and that's their method, but just like how Dr. Chris was saying, you're speaking positivity, into what you're going to consume, whether it be something you're drinking or something that you're eating. But yeah, definitely stretching, as we get, seasoned in the years.
I like that term, seasoned.
We have to, and we're not moving around as much. We gotta move the body, whether it be yoga, regular static stretching, or just exercising too. Exercising really important too. Breathing. It's the number of things. There's no one thing fits all or one perfect remedy. It's just a culmination of things. Just as there are many things that affect our body.
Right.
So. Yeah, and being around the lovely Black women too.
Okay, all right, I'll get that. But and I love that. What allowed you to go on this journey in terms of these are the methods that I'm gonna take to take care of me, Zarron? Like, has it always been like this? Because I know there's been stories, because I think you told me you used to be in the military too.
Yeah, some time ago.
Some time ago? Yeah, like this, we dealing with a vet here. So it's like, were you like that even when you were in the military, or is this something that you grew into?
I kind of grew into it. You're young, you're wild. Not everyone, but, being in the military, so many places, but just being young, you may not take your well-being as seriously because you have youth on your side. You can eat a full plate of some heavy food the night before and wake up and you're ready to go the next morning, But as you get, like I said, seasoned, you just learn things, as you get older, and, with those things you learn, hopefully you take heed to them and apply them to your life. So it's just things that I've been learning over the years and applying, as I go.
Now, did you have a mentor, like, along the way in terms of, like, the healing that you did, like, as you seasoned? Because that's what I'm going to use. I'm out here seasoning every year. When the food has good seasoning, it tastes good. So I'm gonna use that. As the year go on, it's like I'm seasoned, right?
Yeah.
So did you have like someone that was like a mentor that kind of like guided you on this journey, or were you just picking up tools along the way?
Picking up on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like it's hard for like men to come? Because for me, it's like I feel like women, it's so easy for women to come together. It's like, okay, girl, we'll go garden, or we'll have like a get together. Is it the same way for men? Because I can't speak for men.
No, I don't think I'll be like, man, I'm going gardening this weekend, come with me. Nah, it ain't like that. But there are other ways to talk to your brethren and convince them to take better care of himself and make better, healthier choices.
Right.
So, we got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
See the song right there. 5 minutes.
Zarron be putting my business out there. I'm not. This is a very authentic episode.
Yes.
And Zarron ain't gonna let nothing budge. So you gonna see a lot of bloopers. He said don't edit it out, so we're not editing nothing out. But Zarron, I just want to thank you so much for being here, because I remember like you came into Cold Space. That's when I first met you. And I also had an event at the Holistic Soul Festival, because I'm the co-founder of the Holistic Soul Festival. Yay! And I'm all about healing within the community. Yeah. And you came in and we were talking, and you were talking about how you compost. And you just made it seem so simple, like I just play in the dirt. And I was just like, no, Zarron, that's not what you do. You take something and bring life back into it, something that people don't take into consideration. And just so that you all can see, because Zarron brought some dirt here
Yeah, this
for
is
me to
some
play
regular
with.
dirt.
Some dirt. And you see, it has the worm whisperer. I wish you were able to feel it in person, but I'm touching this dirt. It has amazing moisture. So it doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel dry at all. I'm trying to make sure it don't. I don't know if you all can see it, but it doesn't feel dry at all. And you said this is mulch and trash that people have thrown away, but it's like fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Ooh, there you go. Okay.
Nice call. Y'all don't
Yes.
see this, but you know, people in the background telling us to do this.
Listen. It's beautiful. This is beautiful dirt, okay?
Yeah. And there's also a video on my Instagram and my site.
And what's your
that gives
Instagram
you
again? Tell them your Instagram again.
The Worm Whisperer.
The Worm Whisperer,
So
and then your
for,
website.
for mine, on the Worm Whisperer, my IG, you'll see like a worm eating a leaf.
Okay.
So it'll be the head of that. And on my website is thewormwhisperer.guru.
Okay. Well, Zarron, I do want to thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for the invitation as well.
For coming here and deciding to, do this interview and educate the community on composting, especially the benefits of it in the environment, like the foods that we eat. This plays a role in it. And this is a form of healing too. So thank you for living within your purpose and composting and educating not only me and the community, but also the generations to come.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you. And for you all, thank you for listening to this amazing episode of You Are Heard podcast. You got to be here with Zarron and listen.
Also in the Worm Whisperer.
Yes, the Worm Whisperer. And if you've never composted before, give it a try. Go on his website. You could probably email him and he'll, give you some guidelines on that journey. But it's time for us to protect our environment, and one of the ways of doing that is composting. So once again, thank you for listening to this episode of You Are Heard podcast. And remember, stealing, healing, okay, starts with being heard.
Yeah.
Bye.